Welcome back to the Papa Do Podcast.
Papa Do! The white rapper Mount Rushmore. This isn't just out of the blue, by the way. Complex made a post about this, and they had their own Mount Rushmore of white rappers. Did you see who they were?
No, and I'm glad I didn't.
You didn't? Okay, I want you to guess who they are. There's obviously 4 presidents on the Mount Rushmore, so you need 4 white rappers.
Hold on, did you come up with your own?
I have my own list, yes.
Oh, you do?
But
okay.
they had their own.
Here's what my 4 would be.
Your 4, and then I want you to tell me what you think they put.
This wasn't easy, and it made me realize there's not a lot of white rappers out there.
Not a lot of good ones.
Not a lot of good ones. But luckily, I narrowed down the 4 best white rappers. Look no further, they're right here. First off, what's a white rapper without a little bit of charisma, humor, if you will, meshed in with that, and just fun? You know, white rapper, having fun with the genre. Being a guest in hip hop, no problem. I'm still gonna entertain the out of you in your house. The first one on my list is Riff Raff. Second is somebody who is undeniably in love with the culture of hip hop, respects it to the T, isn't worried about the clout, isn't worried about anything. He's just worried about being the best possible rapper and pushing the genre forward. Ladies and gentlemen, my second is Tom McDonald. Third on my Mount Rushmore of white rappers, a rapper who people just seem to forget, but once the song plays, you remember right away. And I don't think he gets enough respect. For God's sake, the Lord and Savior is in his fucking name. Ladies and gentlemen, Slim Jesus is my number 3. And then last is a rapper you might be like, wait a minute, Joey, I've never heard of this white rapper. His name is Jick. And the reason why you haven't heard of him is because what I have done is cleverly took Logic's name and split it in half, right down the middle. Because the white part of Logic, half of Logic, if you will, is Jick. And he, of course, deserves to be on my Mount Rushmore of white rappers. Riff Raff, Tom McDonald, Slim Jesus, and Jick.
I don't know how you made it through that whole thing with a serious face. That was one of the funniest things you've ever done. I was really tuned in. I was like, is he gonna say Lil Dicky? Or is like, is this clever way of talking about Eminem being like kind of loose and fun? And he's like, Riff Raff. I was like, okay, this fucker.
I do have a serious list.
Just give me yours and I'll let you know how close you are to Complex, because they're right all the time. Let me have your list.
The first one is a little bit shocking. I do believe just because an artist is more recent doesn't mean that they should be excluded from this list. The longevity is kind of there. He's been around for over a decade. He's kind of crossed genres a little bit. He had a huge run of mixtapes he put on for the Bay when he came onto the scene, which hasn't really been seen that much for white rappers. I'm gonna go with G-Eazy is actually on my Mount Rushmore. That's probably the most controversial one. Second one is somebody that I personally don't really listen to, but his name just circles around so much in hip hop that I can't fucking ignore it. I can't ignore the fact that he did a whole fucking project with Wu-Tang. What white rapper wouldn't want to do that? You can't ignore the mark that this man has left on the game, sticking to his style, a producer and rapper. A$AP Rock is second. Third one was kind of tough, but when I thought about it and I thought about discography, cultural impact, and the fact that people are still listening to his music even though he's no longer with us, and me going to his shows and seeing him perform and seeing how much of not only a dope hip-hop artist he was, how much he fucking loved hip-hop and stuck to the roots of it, Mac Miller. And then fourth is Eminem, and that's not really debatable. Honorable mention, Beastie Boys. That's my serious list.
For me, there really was only one true definitive answer, and the rest felt like they were up in the air. So Eminem is the obvious answer.
Yep.
As far as my other 3, I do have Mac Miller on mine, but again, it just feels, I don't know, man. I don't want to say it feels disingenuous, but obviously the passing aspect has a lot to do with it too, because it leaves more of a legacy. I think it's almost impossible not to have A$AP Rock on here. Like literally one of the best lyricists of all time. He's floating around there as well. The 4th spot, I have a lot of toss-ups right here. You ready for these names?
Yeah.
So I do have the Beastie Boys, but it's a group. I put them out.
Right.
I can't do that.
Okay.
I had LP as a consideration, but he's part of Run the Jewels.
Yep.
And so I kind of put that out. And then there was 3 names that I sat on for a long time. Name number 1, Paul Wall. Number 2 was Machine Gun Kelly, believe it or not. And number 3 was NF. I'm putting NF as my 4th.
Okay.
Just personally,
That's right.
That's it.
For your list?
Paul Wall. Yeah, Paul Wall's right there behind him.
Wow. Why is he so close? What do you like about Paul Wall?
He's an OG. What are you talking about? He's an OG, dude.
Yeah, he is.
He's been around for so long. I feel like he was one of the first accepted white dudes in rap before Eminem. You know how long Paul Wall's been around?
No, clearly I don't. Swishahouse must be
Since like 91.
more iconic than I thought.
Yeah. The main reason I said that is because MGK quote tweeted Complex's thing and said not having me on the Mount Rushmore of white rappers is an insult. It was like pissed that he wasn't on this list. list. Do you want me to tell you what Complex's Rushmore was?
Oh shit, you didn't even tell me that yet. I was about to wrap up.
No, I didn't. Obviously, they had Eminem, they had Mac Miller, they had Paul Wall, and they had Russ as their fourth.
I'm not mad at Russ at all. That motherfucker is a touring fucking monster, and he created like a whole culture movement in the game for independent artists to release more often and see the power of that and what happens when you breed consistency. I'm not mad at Russ.
I've seen some people say like Asher Roth deserved part of it.
No.
Action Bronson. Like, I think they just started naming white rappers they knew at some point.
I mean, Action Bronson is nice. Let us know what your Mount Rushmore is of white rappers.
Papa Do!